We are officially in the WNBA All-Star break. Teams are going to have about a month off between the games in Phoenix this weekend and the Paris Olympics. So last night, it marked the final game for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, the first half of the WNBA season, and Clark gave us a game to remember. So we're going to pick this one up, Ramona, halfway through the first. Fever down 16-9. Clark finds Aaliyah Boston.
Look, they are finding a great two-man game. They know where each other are on the court, and they're getting up and down the court, which is always has been the plan with Caitlin Clark, but now they know where to find each other in those spots.
Once again, Clark slashing through the defense. Going ahead to the second quarter here, the Fever down 40-27. Caitlin Clark does what she does, hits a cool little three there, and then going ahead to the next Fever possession, Clark attacks the rim.
Little hesitation.
And draws the foul there. She's saying, come on, let's get it. 3 minutes left in the half, the Fever down. Clark passes it out to Boston for three. Oh, yeah, baby. Gets that one to fall.
The fact that she can hit that three is so important for the Fever, getting space.
And just the attention that Caitlin Clark draws there on the play. Under 2 minutes to go. Again, what were you saying about that two-man game? Working the pick and roll.
Yep, they know where they are on the court. It's like the back of their hand at this point.
Boston knocks down the jumper there. And then in the third quarter, the Fever, they're starting to make this one close. Down by 5 at this point. Clark, a little behind the back there, drops it off to Smith for the and one.
So there was no look, too.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that on the first glance.
Clark gets her 10th assist, and just watch her eyes here. She fakes the pass with her eyes, and then looks at the rim, and then when the defender just shifts their body ever so slightly, she makes the pass. So then the Fever down by 1 here. Clark finding a little bit more success at the rim.
You know, when she came into the league, I thought the comparison was Steph Curry, and now we're finally seeing it because she can create space all herself. But
tough jumper there from Arike Agumbawale.
Remember yesterday when we were talking about who would score more, who would have more assists, and I said Arike?
Well, Caitlin Clark did have herself a game, though, here. Clark to Boston once again. That two-woman game on full display. Clark gets her 18th. Yes, that is not a typo. 18th assist on that one. And then the next Fever possession, Clark passes it out to Kelsey Mitchell for three. 19 assists. That breaks a WNBA single-game record. 19 assists for Caitlin Clark, the rookie. So 50 seconds left. The Wings up by 2. Agumbawale throws up a prayer.
Yeah, she just does that.
And it was answered.
I think she hit one like that in the national championship game.
Right, and then Clark dribbles it up the floor, loses it. Just a costly mistake there. She had 24 points, 6 rebounds, 19 assists. Agumbawale, 24, 7, and 7. Here's Clark in Boston after the game.
I was going to say it means nothing, but I think it's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. So it's all right.
I just think I just try to set my teammates up for success. I think at times, I can almost overpass, and that can maybe, I don't know. There probably could have been a few times where instead of passing that leads to turnover that I might have, I can probably shoot the ball, but still didn't shoot it very good from 3. And, I thought we finished really well around the paint. I'm sure our points in the paint were pretty good. 62 points in the paint. So, yeah.
Okay, I understand that, maybe it doesn't mean as much because they didn't win the game, but 19 assists wasn't the only record to fall last night. Against the Wings, Clark created the most points by any player in the WNBA game, passing the mark previously held by Diana Taurasi in 2006. So now the man who will be calling the All-Star game is joining us. The skills competition as well this weekend. The one and only Ryan Ruocco, fresh off of the plane to Phoenix. Thank you so much, my friend, for stopping by, for making some time with us. Let's start right there with Caitlin Clark. Just 26 games into her career. She continues to set records. What was your reaction to what we saw last night?
She's just so fun to watch, Malika. And, obviously when people got drawn to her in college, it was because of the way she would hit 35-foot threes, right? Well, you just showed an entire highlight package that was riveting that didn't include one made three from Caitlin Clark because her passing is that dynamic. Her vision is that transcendent. I mean, her vision a lot of times, sometimes I think it reminds me of Sue Bird. Other times I think it reminds me of Wayne Gretzky, the way she sees the floor. Yep. It's just incredible. And the other thing that I think doesn't get talked about enough is her pace. Her pace is incredible, and it's all game long. It's so consistent. And I was actually talking with Sue Bird about this, and if it reminds her of anybody, and she said, the thing that's so unique about Caitlin's pace is not only can she go full speed all game long, but within possessions, when she breaks it down, she can get right back up to full speed again. Usually there's this lag time to be able to accelerate. It's just incredible. And the other thing with the passing and the pace is it's not just that she's getting these assists, it's how many easy looks she creates for her teammates. And that's what we saw last night. It really is amazing.
I mean, she had 19 assists, but I felt like she could have had 5 more. Even
we're going to see her have 20, 25.
It's going to happen routinely. And I think I'm glad you brought up the pace, because that when I'm watching it, I had them look up the stats to go, man, I just feel like they're playing fast. Like they're playing, and it's actually the same pace they were playing earlier in the year. It's similar in terms of pace of play, but it's her teammates have learned how to play at her pace, and perhaps most importantly, they're playing through her now. In the early part of the season, I felt like she was standing in the corner way too much.
Yeah.
She was letting somebody else make the plays. Now they said, what are we doing? We got Caitlin Clark on our team.
Right.
Give her the ball. Let her make something happen. And that two-man game with her and Leah Boston is going to be fun to watch for years to come.
Yeah, you both mentioned the assists, so I just want to take a look at this real quick. Several records, they are within reach here for Caitlin Clark this season. She already has the rookie record for the most points created with 14 games left to play. She's on pace for 327 assists this season. That would set a league record for a season, and she's also well on her way to setting the rookie record for threes as well. So beyond just the stats, beyond just the records, Ryan, what are your expectations for Clark through the rest of the season as this Rookie of the Year race starts to heat up, as we start looking towards who's going to make the playoff cut, etc.?
Yeah, I mean, I think over the last few weeks, she has clearly separated herself in the Rookie of the Year race, which has been incredible. And obviously, we know Angel is having an outstanding rookie season. And in many years, she would be a runaway winner for Rookie of the Year. It just happens to be a year where you also have Caitlin Clark, who is doing obviously historic things. And right now, I honestly think we are moving towards a place where we're going to be debating more so where she falls into the all WNBA conversation. If she keeps playing like this, we're going to be talking about her as a legitimate candidate to be first team all WNBA. I think in the MVP race, we know A'ja Wilson is the unanimous MVP this year. That's not going to be up for grabs. There's zero doubt about that. But who finishes second is interesting. Sabrina Ionescu, Kalia Copper. I think, Alyssa Thomas was in there. Well, guess what? We know Stewie's always there. Caitlin Clark is starting to surge in that as well. And I will not be surprised at all if by the time we get to the end of this season, Caitlin Clark ends up second or third on MVP ballots. Wow. No one is passing A'ja. Let's make that very clear. But that's how good Caitlin has been, and she is becoming the transcendent player that we knew she could be. It's happening, I think, maybe more quickly than some anticipated. We're seeing what a quick study she is, her basketball IQ. And the thing that Indiana may get an advantage from compared to some other teams during this break is a lot of their players are going to be able to be home and practicing together after they go through this period where everybody gets some time off. So I would expect Indiana, who's played the toughest strength of schedule up to this point, to come out of the break probably more fluid than most teams, and that'll help Caitlin as well.
Ryan, I also think it's good for Caitlin to have a little break because she's just been going all the way since the college season. But I'm excited for this All-Star game. I'm excited, like Team USA versus the WNBA All-Stars, which is also known as the ones who weren't on Team USA, right? Caitlin Clark, Cheryl Miller's coaching. Yeah. Like this, they might win.
Ryan, you're on the call. What are you most looking forward to in this All-Star Weekend festivities?
Well, we had the format like this in 2021 when Team WNBA actually won the game, and Arike Gumbawale, who was considered somewhat of an Olympic snub, went off in that game and guided them to a win. And here's what you have to remember. This is not an exhibition, all right? We're not going to see 180 to 170 with no defense.
Right.
No. Team USA, they only have 3 games to get ready for the Olympics. They're going to be playing. And if they are playing, so are those other players on the other side of the floor. Angel Reese and Arike and Caitlin, they are going to be competing. Dearica Hamby, everybody who's been involved in who's going to be on this WNBA All-Star team, they're going to be, even if normally it might feel like an exhibition, in this game it won't, because Team USA is not going to treat it like that. Yeah. And you can bet the competitors on the other side aren't going to either. So I think you're going to see a highly competitive basketball game, in addition to the juicy storylines of having Angel and Caitlin be teammates and Caitlin go up against Team USA. I think you're going to see some really good basketball.
Well, and as Angel Reese said on this show, she said she's going to go to Paris. She's going to watch it all. But in
Oh.
2028, she expects and hopes and is speaking into existence that she will be on this Olympic roster. As we texted about this morning, Ryan, this feels such a far cry from a couple of years ago discussing, oh, should this be a part of NBA Summer League so that folks want a ticket to go? No. This is the cultural event of the weekend to be at. Ryan Ruocco will be there voicing it all. Thank you so much for making a little bit of time with us.